Well, good evening. We want to welcome each of you here tonight. Thank you for taking the time to come out and just again in support of one of the missions that we support as a church congregation. And so we're thankful for the work that's taking place around the world, and we appreciate seeing individuals that have come from this congregation and have gone out and done ministry and continue to do work around the world for God. And so it's really exciting for us to be able to hear tonight from Ashley Berlin, and we're grateful for her willingness to share with us tonight. So will you give God a round of applause as Ashley comes and shares?
Thank you so much for coming out on this freezing cold night, and thank you to everyone at home that's watching this on live stream. My name is Ashley Berlin, and I have been working in Arusha, Tanzania for the last 5 years at a baby home called Neema Village, and Neema means grace in Swahili. I would just like to read our mission statement. Our mission statement: rescuing abandoned, orphaned, and at-risk babies, reuniting children with extended families and promoting adoptions, restoring hope to women through education, business opportunities, parenting skills, daycare assistance, and spiritual guidance, and renewing dignity to AIDS widows. So we started out as a baby home, and the ministry has just grown and grown and grown. And so I'll be sharing some of the new ministries with you tonight. The next slide is the verse that Neema goes by. It comes from James 1:27. Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this: to look after orphans and widows in their distress and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. And so that is definitely what we try to do, is care for babies and care for widows and mothers. This is just to show you where it's located, very close to the border of Kenya. So if you want to come visit, that's where you can find me. Arusha has 800,000 people in it. And in the whole country of Tanzania, there's 60 million people, and out of that, 1.3 million are orphans due to HIV. These are just a couple pictures of Arusha, lots of people, lots of markets, lots of shops. And the next slide is Michael and Doris. They are the founders of Neema Village. They are from Temple, Texas, and they are there for 3 months at a time running the orphanage. And then in a couple slides, you'll see their daughters that help also. The next slide is them in the 60s. They were missionaries in Tanzania in the 60s. They were there for 6 years. They did a lot of church plants. And they came back to check on their church plants in 2008. And that's when they started seeing more and more children on the streets and things. And they said it was not like that in the 60s. So they asked around, and they said, what's going on? And because of HIV, there was a lot more younger children being orphaned. And so that's when their son was like, Mom and Dad, you have to do something. And so in 2012, Neema Village opened its doors. And there weren't children homes at the time, baby homes, because babies are so expensive to take care of, that they visited like 22 different orphanages all over, and they're like, we just don't take babies. And so they're like, well, what happens to the babies? So so this is their daughters in this next slide. Kim is, so that would be on your right. Kim is the director when Michael and Doris aren't there, and then the other daughter is the medical director there. This is how, and this is ish. I mean, we've helped, sometimes moms and babies just come for like a night, so this is how many babies we've helped since 2012. Currently at Neema, there's 60, adopted 44, reunited with family 75, off-campus babies 72, and school fees 22. And I'll talk more about those in a minute. So Neema has 80 employees. Has 80 employees. So it's very big. We started off by renting a house, and we outgrew that very fast. So in 2016, Neema House became Neema Village. We got over 10 acres of land and have 12 houses on that property now, and a large baby home, and 80 employees. So that's amazing. And all of the Tanzanian employees are treated very well. And all of the long-term volunteers, they don't get paid at all. We just come through the support of churches and people that help us. So we have drivers, nannies, cooks, laundry workers, cleaners. We have a cow guy, gardeners, guards, music teacher, a social worker. All help take care of these precious babies. These are our reunified children, because it is not Neema's goal to keep these children. We know that family is best, so we would like all of them to be in their forever families by the age of 3. That doesn't always happen. We've had some that have been there like at 6 years old, but if they can't go back to family, then they do get adopted or fostered. So we get a lot of babies that are Maasai babies. There's over 120 different tribes in Africa. The Maasai tribe is the largest tribe and the most well-known tribe, and they just live out in the bush, and they don't have any medical care or anything. So I would say 95% of our babies come from Maasai families where sadly the moms die. They usually hemorrhage and bleed to death. So we get a lot of their babies, but we just started a new program to help with that, so that's going good. They say that 1 in 10 moms die in the bush, and at the government hospitals, the good hospitals, 1 in 29 die. We took a baby to the hospital this year, and there's a doctor who's from New York who's been here for many years, and he said, I've traveled the world and I've worked in like 15 different countries, and Tanzania has the worst medical care. He said they're not doing things that the US was doing in the 1940s. So that was comforting. But that's just what we're up against, and we're trying to help as much as we can. So we have some babies that come because the moms have mental illness, HIV, so they're too sick to care for them. Some are drug addicts, all the things. So we just take care of these precious children until we're able to find them a home. We have abandoned babies, and all the abandoned babies after 6 months are able to get adopted after the police report and everything is done. And all of our abandoned babies are adopted, like right away. Sometimes we have people come in and they want a baby, and we said, sorry, we don't have any that can be adopted out right now. So that is good that we do have families that come forward and want to adopt. It is very hard for international adoption because you have to be a resident there for 3 years. But some missionary families have done it, or just people that get jobs there have adopted. And we have some of our babies in the States right now. So if you want to come live there for 3 years, but you have to be married. So when you ask me, why am I not adopting? That's why. Neema has a social worker who works with social welfare in Arusha. Sometimes the baby is able to stay home to be cared for, and that is, of course, what we want, because it's, family's best, and because it is cheaper for us, too, to just be able to provide formula and food to the family. So we do like that. So we have 72 babies in our outreach programs. We have a lot of twins, triplets, and a set of quadruplets, even, so lots of multiple births there, a lot. We just got triplets since I've been gone. Sorry. So another outreach is, so when our big kids do go home, they still go home to their families who are poor. And so we help our big kids still with schooling, because government school is not great there at all. And so we try to still put them in private school where they can get some English. And so the people who sponsor our babies usually pay for their schooling once they leave Neema too. It's about $500 a year in private school for a kid, and then it just gets more as they get older. So this is our children. We have 60 babies at Neema right now. They come brand new. We've had babies come at just hours old, and our oldest right now is 4. Well, she just turned 5 in December, and she'll go to a place called Help for Maasai. It's a school for Maasai girls that just keeps them safe and does let them go home and visit their families, but also make sure that they're safe when they go home, because the Maasai do things that we don't agree with, and so we just want to keep them safe, and the school makes sure that they don't do things anyways when they're at home. If you want to ask me questions about that later, you can. So, yeah, so she'll be going, so it really is just a baby home, which was the plan. We're doing much better now about getting our babies out by the age of 3, so. So this is Neema Village. So yes, it's a little, it's, okay. Who's speaking so loud? Okay. All right, so Neema Village has, that's the 10 acres right there. We've bought land like behind it and stuff now. And a huge field that's like full of banana trees, and we grow our own beans and everything now. So we have about 13 acres, I think, now with everything we've bought. But all that you see has been done by a volunteer that comes. We love our volunteers. We love our volunteer program. We usually get about 250 volunteers a year. That was before COVID, of course, but it's picking up. We have a group of 13 there right now. But this is, each volunteer has gone home, and they're like, okay, we're going to go raise money for this building. So the baby home, the map house that I'll show you in a second, all of the houses, the volunteer house, the blessing house, everything has been built by volunteers that just fall in love with these babies and want to help. And all of this, the baby's care and everything is all done through sponsorship. You could sponsor a baby for as little as $30 a month. To fully sponsor a baby is $300 a month. But that's expensive, I know, but babies are expensive. So that includes formula, food, diapers, nanny salary, gas for cars, doctor and hospital visits. So we just, love our volunteers, and you are welcome to come. If you've never been on a missions trip, this is pretty cush. Okay, people are always like, yo, Ashley's in Africa. I have a cook, you guys. I'm not going to lie to you. So, the volunteer house has a cook, and she's a really good cook. Let's just go there. I've gained a lot of weight since I've been in Africa. So, so come. This would be great. Everyone should do a missions trip. And if you love babies, this is the place, or mothers, as you'll hear in a second. So, this is the baby house. It can fit 60 babies in it. And our babies are so happy. Like, you do go to other villages, other children's home, and the villages and all the things, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Tanzanian people are very, very happy, but our babies are like fat and happy and clean, and they love you. And so that's what you'll see. You'll go into other orphanages, and the kids will be shy. They sometimes won't want you, be scared of you, because honestly, maybe it is the only white person they've seen. I don't know. But our babies, no. They will run to you, they will want you, and that's like one of the things we always have when volunteers leave, like what's one thing that surprised you? And usually that's it. The babies are just so happy, and they just want us, they love us, and you're like, yes, they know what unconditional love is, and I think that that's one of the things I love about Neema is I want the children to know that they are loved no matter what. So, okay. This is the map house. So we have a program called Mothers Against Poverty. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So that's the map house. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. This is the school. And this is where I spend a majority of my time. I'm there every morning. I'm the preschool teacher. And then I spend some time in the afternoons in there as well. The next slide is the volunteer house. And then the one with the tree in the middle with the cow is the blessings house. And that's where I live. It was supposed to be for AIDS widows that wanted to come, and we're going to give them a job in the laundry or something, but we've just found that the AIDS widows, they have kids, and so they have to keep their kids in school and all those things. So they don't live on campus with us, but we do have a lot of AIDS widows in the outreach programs that we have and the MAP program. And so right now, that's just where all the volunteers, the long-term volunteers stay, is at the Blessings House. The next picture shows the UCare in Montana house. That's where the bigger kids live. There's a boy house and a girl house. I say bigger, but they're just so little now. So it's sad when they have to go down there. They adjust well, though. It's fine. This is the toddler playground. And then just some of the flower gardens. It's really pretty. You can see Kilimanjaro and Meru on a clear day. This is the UCare Montana playground. The next slide, they have gardens. We're trying to get our weekly grocery bill down, so we have lots of trees, fruit trees. We have banana trees, which is also a fruit tree. And just all the vegetables. We're trying to grow all the vegetables. We have cows, we have chickens. So we're trying, because that weekly grocery bill gets very expensive. Okay, so let's just talk about some of the babies now. You can go to the next slide. So this is Hosiana. She is 3. She is Maasai, and her story is sadly that her mom died shortly after delivery due to complications with the placenta. But she was in my class this year, and she's really smart. The next one is Neema, also in my class. She will be 4 in January. Oh, this month, January 13th. Okay, there it is. So she came weighing just 3.3 pounds, and her mother also died from hemorrhaging. And the father is not known, and an uncle started coming to visit her a lot, like a lot. He was very faithful. We ended up giving him a job at Neema, so he works there now. And then we do take them out to see their families, because again, we know family is very important. But those 2 little girls I just showed, they'll go to help for Maasai too, and then just visit their families on school break. This is the home of a baby that came because the mother had mental disabilities, and so that mother had 6 children, and they're all in different facilities. So if you go down, yeah, that's where she was living. They were trying to find the mother, and this is where they found her. But this is normal. Like, this is where we find a lot of our mat moms. They live in conditions like this. So she came at 4 months old, and she, this year, went back to another facility with one of her sisters because the government is trying to keep siblings together, which is good, but it's always hard to let them go. But she's doing okay. But her name's Glory. The next slide is Niesu and Faraha, and they are also from a Maasai village. Yeah, they're cute, very cute. I love them. I love them all, but. So they also came from a Maasai village. They've come from a village where we've gotten 5 of their babies. So it's really sad. So we have lots of cousins in there together too. And just, yeah, relations. And so their mom also bled to death and died because of retained placenta. So this is their cousin Philip. Philip came to us at 3 months old. And both of his parents had passed away, so the grandma was trying to feed him cow's milk. And she knew it wasn't working, so she heard about Neema, of course, because we have, like I said, 4 of their other babies there. So brought him in, and we had a bad cough right away, and we took him to the hospital. He had pneumonia. And so he was in and out of the hospital. We did shut down a time for COVID. We had to buy a big oxygen tank to keep him on oxygen the whole time that we did that. And now he's just a funny, fat, smart little guy. And so it's just amazing to see what God can do. This is Sanari. Same story. He came weighing 2.6 pounds. And sadly, his mother passed away. They tried to take her to a hospital, though, and they thought that she was doing good, and then she passed away. Sometimes they don't even know why. Like, I update the babies every 3 months, and I try to get their stories. All the stories are the same. It's sad. But sometimes they just, like, guess on what happened sometimes. But he is Maasai. We took him out to visit his village a couple months ago, and they just loved having him there. But the dad was like, please keep him. We see how good he's doing. Please keep him, and please put him in school. And we were like, we will gladly do that. Thank you, sir. And he also said he doesn't trust his second wife. So, hey, he was honest. So I loved him. I was like, yes, honesty and rules, that's what I like. Everyone asks me what I miss, and that's what I miss. So I appreciated him. The next slide is Gideon. This has been our smallest baby. He came weighing 800 grams, 1.8 pounds. He was born at 25 weeks, And you'd be surprised, we have lots of babies that have been born at like 27 weeks, 28 weeks, and they're just fighters and they make it and they're fine. And he's one of them. He's been in and out of the hospital for sicknesses and stuff because he's just prone to that, of course, but he's 1 year old now and he's doing really, really good. And then these are the babies that have come since I've been gone. So I will miss everyone, but I'm excited to get back to meet them. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about our MAP program. So I said the MAP program was Mothers Against Poverty. And we had all these babies coming in, and we've had some really sad stories about moms, like getting called to go get babies, like when they're in town because they have mental disabilities, and they're like, there's a crazy lady down here with a baby, we need you to come pick it up. And so Michael's had to like take a baby out of a mother's arms before and go take it back to Neema, and Michael and Doris were like, we can't do this, like, we have to help these moms. They're in poverty, they don't have the support that they need, and so they're just like, the babies aren't the problems, it's these mothers that need help, and that's the problem, so we have to do something. So they started the Mothers Against Poverty. It's where we set mothers up in businesses and AIDS widows up in businesses so that they can support their families. We have over 80 women in it now, and it started in 2018, and every day there's someone at our gate asking to come in. So we had to, we have some restrictions that we had to put in place because we're like, you have to have the baby that's less than 2, because that's really what we're supposed to take is babies that are less than 2. And so we had to do that because there was a lot of grandmothers and stuff that take care of their kids, but the kids are older. So we do have some guidelines that people have to follow to get into the MAPS program, but there's seriously someone at our gate every single day that needs help. So I'll just show you some of the houses that they come from. Let me go to the next one. And the next one is, this is Habib. She's a widow with 4 children. The youngest are twin girls, almost a year old. Habib was left with nothing after her husband died. She was begging neighbors to let her hoe in the fields to have money to buy food. With the twin baby girls, it was hard for her to have 2 babies on her back while she worked in the fields. Neema Village has set her up in a small vegetable stand that she can work from her home and be able to care for the babies. So I just have a few of the mom stories on here, but if you go to neemavillage.org, on their website, they have all of the baby stories, and they have all of the MAP mom stories. So you can read about them if you're interested, or like us on Facebook, because each baby has an album too, where you can hear their stories and their updates. So this is Habib. So she's doing really good now. She's out of the MAP program now. Esta has 6 children. Her husband left her with nothing, so she also started a vegetable business and is doing very well. And this is one of my favorite stories. I didn't get to go on this MAP visit. But this is Margaret, and she would go to the dump every day and collect water bottles, plastic water bottles, or any plastic bottles that she could find, in this huge bag. I have a picture of it. And she'd only get like 20 cents a day for that. So they went to visit someone else in this neighborhood, and the neighbors were like, can you please help this mama? And so they went into the house, and if you see her in this picture, they didn't even know for sure if they could help her because, like, start a business, because she wouldn't talk to them. She's like, she wouldn't make eye contact. They gave her a sucker, and that's all she did was sit there, and she wouldn't answer any of the questions. Her mom that she lives with would just answer all the questions. She had a young child, and so they're like, I don't know if she can mentally run her own business, but they'll put her in outreach then if they can't run a business. Don't worry, they still help them. But then Anna, the MAP director, this is what she was picking up, sorry, 20 cents, making 20 cents a day. Did you already see it? Yeah. And I missed it? Okay, that's big. And they're telling the story, I did not imagine that. But anyways, 20 cents a day for that. So then Anna, the MAP director, went back. So that's the next one, sorry. She's the one in blue, and she's amazing. Went back and talked to her, and she came back. She's like, I think she can do it. So they're like, okay, we'll try it, we'll set her up. And like, when we help someone, within days, they're out. Sometimes within 24 hours, they're out. We'll go find them a house, give them food, give them the things that they need. And so 2 weeks later, she came back to Neema. And Doris was like, I had no idea who that was. Because it's amazing what a little hope and help will give someone. And that's what's cool about Neema. I'm going to cry. So anyways, it's just awesome to see someone go from complete devastation and hopelessness to just a different person and a smile. And they're all so pretty. And it's just sad that they think so little of themselves and all they need is a little hope and a Bible, which thanks to you guys, that's what I like to do, is I like to give out Bibles. I've given over, and I say me, and I don't mean to because it's not me, it's you with your support. So thank you. You've given out over 200 Bibles. All of Neema staff has been given a Bible. All the Nat moms get a Bible. And then people that just ask me, I'm the Bible lady. So if someone needs a Bible, they know to come ask me, and I'm like, I will get you one. And when I say me again, I mean you. So thank you. But I do love that. And they're just like, one year I gave out to all the staff, and when Annie came up to me, she's like, you have given us a gift that will last forever. And I was like, yes, Jesus has. So the next slide is another Mat mom. Her name is Charity, and she started a charcoal business. And then she just was doing so good that now she has clothes, she adds vegetables. That's what a lot of them do, is they just keep building on to their business that we started them with. Mat moms have bought land and have built houses because they do budgeting classes. So we teach them how to budget their money, and they're just awesome. They're amazing ladies that just can get it done and are like killing life, I guess. The next one is a salon shop. We'll just go through this. You can hear their stories or read their stories, like I said, online if you want to. So you can go to the next one. So this mama was a very young mama. She had twins. She was 18 years old. She was living with someone that just took her in after she left the hospital. And then when she had the twins, the lady's like, I can't do this. So she wanted to abandon the boys. Somehow Neema, I'm sorry, not even sure how Neema got into it, but she was brought to Neema, and she stayed up at the Blessings house for a while. And I didn't mind, but she was in the room, so you hear the babies crying at night. And so me and Maria, who was a long-term volunteer there at the time, we'd just go in and help her, like take care of her babies and stuff at night. Because I'm just like, this poor mama's up here. She has no idea what she's doing. So eventually we're like, let's have her move down to the baby house so that the nannies can like teach her how to, she needs some mentoring. So she eventually did move down there. But it was fun to get to help her take care of her babies at night when they were crying. They sure are cute. So this is the shop she started in, selling like peanuts and stuff like that and vegetables. And then she started doing really, really good with the help of this volunteer that she's with. And she became her sponsor. And then she just has a really nice big shop now. In the next slide. Yeah, so she's doing really good. And I do love it because the Mat moms always do come and visit, so we get to see the kids. And Neema does a really good job of checking up on kids too that leave. All right, so we'll just go through these. Vegetable stand. This is Mama Noella. She was our first chicken business, and she's doing so good. She has like 3 different chicken stands now, and she just sells them to all the neighbors and everything. If you'll see, her daughter has disabilities, and we noticed that with a lot of the Mat moms, so we'll talk about what we did to help that in a second. We also gave a Maasai group. We have one of their little boys Neema took care of, so we're really close to this Maasai village, and so we'll go out there and take volunteers so they can see what a Maasai village is like and stuff. But we've done a lot to help them. We gave them sewing machines, and so they started their own tailoring co-op where they sew the school uniforms now and the shuka things that they wrap over themselves. And so they're doing really good. We've also given them a chicken coop. And then the next slide is just the different businesses that we've started at Neema. So it's anywhere from $150 to $1,000 to help these women start a business. Okay, so the MAP house is very important because we have a lot of the MAP moms come in to do sewing classes, jewelry classes. We do a lot of Bible classes, and that's something this year that's been amazing, is that we had 4 MAP moms get baptized. We also do Bible studies with the nannies, and 2 nannies got baptized this year, so I'm going to pray for 22 in 2022. But anyways, it's been a good year for that. This is a graduation. They take women's rights seminars. Oh, sorry, the one where they're all in their red dresses, that's what they're doing. It's a graduation from women's rights seminars. Just to, let them know their rights, let them know that they can keep their children if their husband dies, that they can say no to being beat by their husbands. Just a lot of things that they don't know that they're learning about. So it's a very important class, and it always has a really good attendance, so that's good. We also do defense classes. That's what they're doing outside. CPR classes for all of the staff and all the MAP moms. And then we also have done hygiene classes for young girls, cake decorating classes, English classes. So, yeah, the MAP house is very important. We're outgrowing the MAP house right now, so we might be building a bigger MAP house on some of the land that we have bought. This next slide is a daycare. It's a special needs daycare, kind of like a rehabilitation center, because they do a lot of exercising with the kids and a lot of massaging and stuff. Well, first I should tell you why we have this. So we have this center because we noticed in the MAP program that a lot of the women had children with disabilities, and that's why their husbands would leave them. So we're like, okay, we need to do something for these mamas, because they would just put them on congas, put them on their back, and then work all day at their businesses that we're giving them. So then we were like, okay, we need to do something to help them. So we started this daycare so that they can drop the babies off and help the babies while helping the moms. So this is from Monday through Friday. I think it's like 7:30 to 4:30 that it's open, so they can work. And it's really cute. I think it's 1 baby for every 2 nannies. So really good ratios. And they sing with them. And like I said, that's singing, and then the other one was massaging them. And they've helped a lot of the Neema babies go too, whenever we have a baby with a disability there. In this last picture, this is Esther. She was a triplet at Neema, and she was just little and weak. And so she went to the daycare and she started walking. Philip, the big chunky guy that I showed you earlier, he could not sit up. He's really chubby, so that's probably part of it, but just to help his back strength, and now he's fine. So they have done a lot. And then our newest program that was started this year by a 25-year-old girl that's been there for over a year now. She started a Save the Mothers program. And that was because we have gone to Neema Villages quite a bit to do birthing seminars. And we had this whole kit put together for them, and one of the things in the kit was a pill that would stop the hemorrhaging, but the Maasai don't like to take pills. So out of all of that we've done, only 1 mom, I think, took it, but she was saved, but they just don't like to take pills. They believe in their medicine, and so we're like, we have to figure something out. So she thought, we'll just have them come in for like a week-long training, and because she did a lot of research. I mean, a lot. Like, I don't even know how much to tell you, but she's not a doctor, but she has nurses and doctors in her family. She's working with a Tanzanian midwife, so all of the curriculum that she uses has been checked out and everything. So her program is, I'll just read this. Save the Mothers is a week-long intensive safe birthing course that covers everything from female anatomy to obstructed labor and infant CPR. We are training the traditional birthing attendants who are responsible for supervising the births in their villages. Sadly, many of the things that are killing these mamas during delivery, the first world would consider a minor complication. But this sad fact means hope, because all of these villages need is one person that knows what to do when these complications arise in order to save the mothers. We are thrilled with the results we are getting so far and the potential impact of all the mamas to come. So, I mean, she just talks about like a breech delivery, what to do if the cord's wrapped around the baby's neck, which is nothing, and they just are like doing things they shouldn't. So it's just as simple as that. So she's teaching them that. shoulder dysplasia, like, I don't know, it's just amazing. Like, if you come and at the end they graduate, and then they always ask, like, what have you learned from this? And they'll just say all the things that they've learned. And it's hard for Messiah to open up and stuff sometimes, but that's what we do, is like just build trust through that whole time, and then they do. They just talk. It really is amazing. If you know the culture, it's not usually like that. But anyways, this mom's doing CPR, so we teach them that too. And then one thing that came to light for Cassie was like, we've thought about all the moms that are dying, but then she's like, there's got to be so many babies dying there every day too, because they just don't know. So I was like, yeah, so again, helping the moms and the babies. We do devotion every morning with them. That's been cool to be a part of. And then they receive a Bible at graduation. So that's what that picture is. And then she goes out, Cassie, that's Cassie in the middle right there. And then she goes out every 4 to 6 weeks. Like I said, we have, her name's Mercy, who she works with, and she is a doula, a Tanzanian doula, who's worked with Messiah a lot, so she works with her. But they go out every 4 to 6 weeks to just check with the birthers and see like how many babies they've saved, or how's it going, any more questions, things like that, just to do a little follow-up. But now they've also started doing a mobile maternal fetal health clinic when they go out and do those follow-ups too. So, because the government was supposed to be doing these follow-ups in these clinics and things, and they weren't, so then they're like, okay, well, we're just going to help you, we're going to get this done. So they pick up 2 government nurses, go out there, and they just did their first one the beginning of November. So they said it was really good, though, that lots of people came. They're going to be working, so they work with the government health clinic. They're going to be doing prenatal care, family planning, and AIDS testing for pregnant women, baby wellness, vaccinations against polio, teen girl counseling, and COVID shots for those who want them. We would also set up a prayer corner for their pregnant moms and babies. So it's just awesome. I'm excited to get back and go to my first one of those. So that Save the Mothers. Okay, and then the next slide is me in my class this year. So last year I did like a kindergarten class, and every year it's sad because then my class was the oldest and then they all leave. So my class this year, since we're doing better about getting them out at 3, like I said, was 2 and 3-year-olds, besides JoJo there in the front in the pink. Like I said, she's 5, but she'll be going to Help for Messiah in January. Because Help for Messiah doesn't want our girls till they're 5. Not sure why, but we're like, okay. So the girls will stay till they're 5, but we try to get everyone else out when they're younger. So this is my ministry. I get to help with all those other ones, like when they ask me and when I can, but I love children. If you know me, I've always loved babies. I love children, so children's ministry is my thing. So I love teaching them. I love getting to do Bible class with them every day. I just love the verse that's train up a child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they will not depart from it, and that's just my prayer all the time when I see these babies go home. And we had one situation where a little boy went home at the age of 4, and we had to bring him back because his stepmom was not being kind to him. And it was not great, but it was great because he still remembered Jesus loves me. And I was just like, I hope that when he wasn't being treated well, that he could just sing that song and get some comfort. So that's what I'm trying to do, is just teach him the Word of God and give him those Kitty Allen songs. So this is my class, the next one. And I'm just going to tell you this Bible verse that they're saying. They know so many scriptures. Little kids are so smart. They're just like sponges. So they learn so much scripture. They can learn all the songs. It's amazing. And so they have accents. So this is Luke 10:27. They're saying in this video, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your strength and with all your mind and all your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. That's what they're saying. Nailed it. Okay, but they know so many. I could show you so many videos, but then I keep asking people, I'm like, can you understand what they're saying? And they're like, no. So I stopped. But did you see, look how cute they are. I just love them. So that's where I spend a lot of my time. Then I also get to hang out with the babies. And lately, like before I came, I've done a lot of night hospital runs. Sadly, did like 4. But I think when I left, it seemed like everyone was pretty healthy, so that was really good. And I haven't heard anything bad since I've been gone, so I think they're all healthy and happy right now, so that's good. I also get to do toy time with the kids at night, and that's just where I put them on the mat, and then they switch every 10 minutes to another toy section, so that's always fun, because, you know, always living in a daycare setting, they just need some time alone so they can play with their toys. And then we do devotion and singing time after that. The next slide is of a little girl named Sophia. So we really are only supposed to take kids under the age of 2, but this girl came to us about 3 years ago from social welfare, and they said, can you just keep her for a couple of days till we find someone to take care of her? Well, she has disabilities, so that was going to be really hard. So we, of course, fell in love with her, and she's just been with us ever since. She's being fostered by one of our nannies. We actually have quite a few of our older kids that aren't able to go home that are being fostered by our nannies. So she's one of them, and I've just gotten to spend a lot of time with her. I would ask for you to pray for her because I just want her to come to know Jesus and just understand everything when it comes to Jesus. We've had some good talks. There's been some Bible reading. I mean, all of us work on Sophia, so we're really trying to have her just know the love of Christ. She's gone through a lot of medical issues this year, but I think she's doing good now, and she's getting some help that she needs at school and at her house and all the things, so she's doing really good. But yes, her name is Sophia, so if you could just pray for her. And then the next picture is a picture of the Mat Moms getting their Bibles, some of them. And then we also support a little school down the road. We had a volunteer come that was a retired principal, and we found this little school by accident. We just saw these like little kids. We were going down the road coming out of this building, and they just kept coming, and we were like, Doris was like, okay, what's going on there? And it was just a little room with no electricity and like 60 kids coming out of it. So we moved them to a 2-room school building with bigger rooms, electricity, and this volunteer just supports that school now. So we go down there and read to them, do Bible study with them, do VBSs with them, and it's really cute and really fun. So this is us doing a VBS with them one day. And it was all the neighborhood kids came. There was like 135 kids that came that day because they were at a school. And then church is a big thing at Neema. So volunteers can take a baby to church every Sunday, and then whoever they didn't take, I took. So this is me with my 5 that weren't chosen that Sunday. No, I loved it though. I loved taking them. And during COVID and stuff, when we couldn't always go to church, if we don't have church, then we have it at Neema. And Neema is actually building a church right now so that all of the staff that work on Sundays can go to church and everything as well. So church is important, and I love doing it. So thank you so much for letting me do this. I love it. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a very emotional job sometimes, but it's all worth it. So just thank you for your support, your prayers, and your love. And if you have any questions, if they're not hard, I'll take them. You have one? I did a really good job though. Okay, real. Oh. Yes. So hot.
I was just gonna ask if you could tell us how old Sophia is.
They say she's 18. So she came, we thought she was like 10, but the aunt says she was born in 2003, so. But she has a disease where she's just little. Her bones aren't great.
Anybody else have any questions?
Okay, well, come visit. Oh, yes, do you have one? Okay, I'm so scared now to close this.
Chris, you got a question?
You work with other organizations like World Vision that gives animals and plants to people to farm and stuff?
We don't work with World Vision. We know about it, but we work with a place called Pee House, which is a place that saves women from the streets and gives them counseling and stuff too. So sometimes we get a mom that goes to Pee House, and then we'll take one of their moms and start them in a business. And like through churches and stuff, we've worked with people called Farming God's Way and things like that. So yeah, we try to help each other when we can.
All right, well, if I could have Ashley stay here, we're just going to pray for you. We know a lot of things that go on when it comes to missions and ministry and all those things. And so I know you guys you're planning to leave on Friday. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
And so could I have Larry and Todd, if you want to come up here, and we're going to just pray over Ashley and just encourage you as the church to lift her up in prayer as she travels this coming Friday, and just again that she'd make it home safely. So Todd, if you want to start, and then Larry, and then I'll close this out.
Oh, gracious Father, we thank you for Ashley. I've seen her grow from a little one, and I know about her excitement for you, but most of all her excitement for those kids as well, to see that they come to you. We thank you for the work that she's done, for the example that she's been for me and my family. And we just pray, Father, that you continue to bless her ministry, help her to do what she loves doing, Father, and that is bringing children to you. For it's in your name.
So God, I also lift up to you tonight Ashley, and I just thank you for her dedication to what you have called her to do. We do desire for you to continue to watch over and protect her, give her wisdom and strength, and just guidance as she travels back home. We thank you for the diligence and the steadfastness that she has in following where you are leading. I pray that that is an example to us as well. And so just bless her and her ministry there in Tanzania. It's in the name of Jesus I pray.
I've known Ashley since she was a little too. And I'm just thankful, Ashley. I ask that you just continue to be blessed by God in the work that you're doing. I pray, Father, that you would just continue to be the one that wants to preach the gospel, to teach people about Jesus. And I know that you are instrumental in doing that. And I just pray, Father, that you'd have opportunities to do so. I thank you for your desire to help people to understand their Savior. And I pray, Father, that you just continue to do something I know you love, that you found a niche in your life that brings you fulfillment and is needed for the kingdom. So we ask a blessing on you and upon the work there. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
All right, let's give God a round of applause again for all that he's doing around the world. Thank you again for being here tonight. It's about 7:50, and we are going to dismiss and encourage you again as far as we moving forward on our Wednesday nights for you to come back. We'll have our normal meal at 6, and then classes for all ages that'll take place at 7 between now, and it'll finish up in April, at the end of April. So thanks for being here tonight. God bless, and travel home safely.